Bichara Supply Chain, highlighting and showcasing solutions for the most complex challenges facing the industry in 21st century by our team of subject matter experts and mentors. Broadcasting every week, all year round, we will present the most up-to-date series of podcasts and webinars.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Bichara Supply Chain, the podcast. This is Nur Hadi, your host. Today's topic is about women in supply chain, and it is my pleasure for having a chance to talk with Hannah Kane. She is a global supply chain executive and president and CEO of a company called LM Technologies based in US. She is also a member of WBNC, the Women's Business Enterprise National Council. So thank you for joining us, Hannah.
Well, it's my pleasure to be here.
Yeah, so Hannah, this is the first time we bring up the topic of women in leadership into our episode. So can you please brief a bit about yourself, your professional background, and what do you do in Council of WBNC?
Well, I've been in supply chain for a very long time. I came originally from Denmark. I immigrated to the US, and together with other supply chain professionals, we built LM Technologies into a global entity that is working and shipping out of 19 locations globally. And we help other companies, mainly corporations, with their supply chain, both designing and executing on the supply chain globally. And my professional background was really, I have a number of university degrees, and then I have been very interested in the manufacturing side of business for many years. I was employed with different manufacturing companies, and in 1997 we decided to start LM. And I always felt that as a woman there were so many opportunities in supply chain. I really wanted to leverage that, but also just as a personal business person, supply chain was a really interesting area to me.
Yeah, awesome. So, since you now is president and CEO for very large corporations, what challenge do you personally encounter as a woman working in this field?
I've got to say very few these days. It used to be much more prevalent to encounter challenges. Today, I think very few challenges, but there are many opportunities as a woman, because many decision makers in supply chain are women, and they relate very well to other women in supply chain. So I find that really important. The other advantage is, of course, that many companies have policies that they would like to do business with women-owned businesses, and so we certainly take advantage of that. So personally, I think it's been a long time since I encountered active discrimination, but certainly when the company started and when we grew the first 10 years, I encountered quite a bit of discrimination, but I've always been able to personally shrug it off and move on. That being said, I'm very active in women's causes, as you mentioned, and I work to make sure that other women can fulfill their dreams without encountering discrimination.
All right, perfect. So, I have read a report which was provided by Catalyst, and it is found that in global level, for example, in 2019, 29% of senior management roles are held by women, the highest number even in the record. So how do you see that, Hannah, more specific in supply chain?
Well, I see it continuing to grow, and when you look at women's careers, many women, it was really only the last 20 years that women started being close to 50% of the workforce. So women are making their way up through the ranks in the business world, And I see the percentage of women in the boardroom and at the top level continuing to increase. And I think that anybody who has a problem doing business with women on an equal footing with men will lose out in the marketplace. I was talking before about when Elon was a very young company, and I encountered some discrimination from one of our potential suppliers. And today, I think they lost out of $20 million worth of business with Elon because of that. So I think for the men listening in, it's really important to think about that women are getting more and more powerful in the business world. And if you want to do business with women, you need to think about that you want to do it on an equal footing, and you want to be very respectful in the workplace towards anybody, whether man or woman.
Yeah. So, and also, do you think a woman's different skill set would be giving an advantage for supply chain management? I actually hate to discriminate, because I think that there are women who are very strong with certain things and men who are very, very strong with other things, and it's all a statistical question that some generally women may be better at some things and generally men may be better at other things, but in the end, for me, it's about the individual and what the individual does and collaborating. Yeah.
That being said, I do think that women generally are better at collaborating and managing the human relationship, and that's a very, very important part of supply chain. I also think that women have been preconditioned a lot to be better at doing many things, keeping many balls in the air, also a very important part of supply chain. Yeah. I think many men are very good at being very focused and very troubleshooting and going for one area, very important task in supply chain too. And so I think, again, the organization gets stronger when you've got both men and women working hand in hand, and not just men and women, but a very diverse workforce. So that's been my goal, to build a very diverse workforce and get everybody to work together.
Yeah. Okay. So this will be our last question today. What is the best way for companies to grow women leaders in the supply chain?
Oh, I think it's everybody needs to grow leaders, and whoever does the best job in developing the new leaders will win in the marketplace. And that's whether it's men or women. But certainly for women, I think being able to see the talent in women, being able to listen to the women, even if they maybe use a different language or are more soft-spoken, or maybe don't put themselves forward the same way as some men do. So being able to recognize that potential, and then being very deliberate about supporting women on their premises. So women are generally very easily boxed into different groups and kept out of development opportunities. So giving women the opportunity to do stretch assignments, to try new things, to grow in the organization, and having a development program for that. And then it's always good to go in and look at whether you have any practices that make it harder for women to succeed. And that may be practices that makes it very hard to be a mother. It could be practices that makes it very hard for people who have a little bit different background than the mainstream within a company. Or if you look at things like how do you reward people when they speak up? are the women getting the recognition for what they bring to the table. So I think that all helps creating a pipeline. Then very, very deliberate about doing training opportunities, especially in the higher ranks. Yeah. So what we see a lot is women making it up to manager level, and then they essentially get stuck. And I think having a mentor program and a development program to get women up to director, VP, and then executive level, and also giving the executive level women some opportunities to do board work and maybe go on boards for subsidiaries or boards for partners or even third-party boards, such that they get other stimuli. So there are lots of different opportunities, and it's certainly a very important activity.
Yeah, awesome. So thanks for today, Hannah. Look forward to speaking with you another time. See you and goodbye.
Okay, it was very much my pleasure. Thank you.
At Bichara Supply Chain, we are committed to driving global perspective to embrace technological adaptation in improving process efficiencies. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share Bichara Supply Chain. And stay tuned for the latest updates. To learn more, visit our website www.bicharasupplychain.com. Thank you for listening to us. We look forward to seeing you at our next episode.